I really hate it when a movie is nominated for a lot of Oscars or nominated for a lot of buzz around a lot of awards for around this season. You have the Golden Globes, now the BAFTAs. We just had the SAG Awards, and we're gonna have the Oscars. All these movie awards are going around, and there's maybe a couple of movies which you never heard of before, but then you think, hey, that sounds interesting. In particular, The Danish Girl, which is a story about a transgender man who doesn't realize that he actually is a woman, you know, inside until he starts experimenting with dressing up as a woman at a party, just to, because he and his wife think it's funny. But then he starts to think, hey, I actually kind of like this. And it's actually a true story, which I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know that it was a real thing. And there's a lot of parts of the movie which are very unexpected, especially the ending. I thought it would be very straightforward. Okay, this. He gets this surgery, and then it ends this way. But then it didn't. I was like, oh, that sucks. And the performances are perfectly fine. Eddie Redmayne is, I guess, interesting. Like, he did a very daring thing to be in this role, to do what he did. And I respect that. I respect his choices, but he doesn't really have that much range of emotion. He has this kind of happy, sad look. Like, he walks around like this, and then he cries. That's the only two emotions that he shows, which is really distracting. It worked when he was Stephen Hawking, because Stephen Hawking was, refined to a wheelchair and could only have a certain expression on his face, but he still was able to make, small gestures and small facial tics that were so involving and so deeply layered. That's what a performance is. Fortunately, he just doesn't show it in The Danish Girl, and I don't think he deserves any award that he would give when compared to, say, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, which is just a far better performance by a long way. And Alicia Vikander is in The Danish Girl as well. She plays Eddie Redmayne's character's wife, who is rather interesting because she actually sticks through her husband's change, mental and physical, still remains very loyal to him, but also grapples with the idea of, do I want my husband to be happy, or do I just want my husband back, instead of being, in this weird confusion, as they keep calling it in the movie. So she really grapples with that idea, and that kind of confusion is very understandable today, especially because a lot of people can experience that. Do I want my husband back, or do I want them to be happy? So it's fair enough. And Alicia Vikander is a great actress, just in general. I liked her. I thought she had a much better performance given in Ex Machina than in this movie, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine, and if she wins awards for it, I'm happy with that. She did have a lot of, compared to Eddie Redmayne, she did have a lot more emotion. She had a lot more purpose, and I feel like the major flaw of The Danish Girl is that it should have been more about Alicia Vikander's character, Gerda Wagner. Well, I can't say her last name. It's Danish, so it's weird, sort of like half German. Don't know how to say it, but her character Gerda is much more interesting because she shows a side that's more relatable to the general audience. A lot of general audiences can't really picture themselves in the same situation as Eddie Redmayne's character. I can't even remember his name. I remember his female name, Lily Elbe. Ina, that's it. Ina Wagner. I just remembered it. People can't really relate that well to that story. Maybe some people, maybe the transgender community can definitely relate to that, but unfortunately they're not a majority. They are a bit of a minority in terms of movie audiences, and movie audiences that are going to go see this movie. I think if I was producing it, I would probably have made the story more about Gerda, because that way it could be more relatable to people. They can see it and understand, okay, this is probably how a lot of people today would think, but it's also surprising that people in the 20s thought that way as well. So I don't know, I just had a better time watching her than I did watching him. Unfortunately, those are the only points the only good points for The Danish Girl, apart from the cinematography as well and the production design. Sure, they're fantastic, top notch, biopic sort of stuff. Fortunately, the rest of the movie is complete bulk. And that is a real unfortunate thing, because I was really expecting, great things from Tom Hooper, but then I realized, oh wait, this is the guy that lifted me up so well with The King's Speech, which is pretty much a personal favorite film of mine. I saw it at a young age and thought, wow, that is brilliant, that is great stuff. However, he had the next movie being Les Miserables, and that's a complete disappointment in every single way possible. And it's only half good. It's literally half good. The copy that I have of it is only halfway into the movie, and that's perfectly fine. I watch that a lot of the time. I would just watch that. I've actually seen that like 10 times, because that just first half is brilliant. The rest of it is god awful. And that's the same guy who did this movie, The Danish Girl, and he shows that sort of lack of a lack of dedication, a lack of grip on his story. He lets it kind of fall to pieces very quickly. He really does try hard to bring it back and give audiences these great melodramatic performances, but a lot of the time it just really feels only half-ass. Like he made this movie and just thought, okay, I'm just gonna put this in there, and even when the actors were saying, hey, is this a bit of a problem, like, should we do this differently, he probably just said, no, it's okay. I don't think he really had that much trust in what the story was or what he was really doing. For The Danish Girl, it's not confusing, the story is very simple, but the movie itself is confused. And you really see it, and it really takes you out of the experience. You're getting so into the story of these two characters, this husband and wife, feeling so much emotion towards the story, but then you see them doing other things, and you're like really, really confused by it, because the movie doesn't know really what it wants to be. And I think the problem of that is that it shouldn't have been a full-length feature film. I think it should have been a BBC TV film. It would have had the same sort of buzz, would have gotten nominated for more awards, for particularly TV awards, probably would have swept those as well. And just a lot of the times, the way it's shot really does feel like it should have been more of a TV movie. There's not that much amazing big things. There's not many scenes where you can sit there and go, wow, that's incredible. There's a lot of the times when I'm sitting there going, wow, that's perfectly fine, I guess. That's okay. That was okay. All right. That's good, I guess. We've been here for an hour and a half. It feels like it's 3 hours. That's just what I was feeling the whole time I was watching The Danish Girl. So I really do think it doesn't deserve any of the awards that it's nominated for. It doesn't deserve any cinematography, production design, costume design. Doesn't deserve any of that. Maybe it deserves Alicia Vikander for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, but I can imagine that her contenders did a better job, especially like maybe Rooney Mara and Carol. Much better stuff. Really, really disheartened by that. So that's The Danish Girl. Comment what you think. Maybe you have a different opinion. That's perfectly fine. That's what movies are for. They're meant to be subversive, objective. So tell me what you think. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing much more reviews now. So stay tuned. Thank you.